you do more of her work for her. Now, what do you get when you mix 5 guys, a bunch of iBooks, and some unlikely samples? Cat 5 and their laptop grooves when the screensavers continues.
Getting it. Signal.
Welcome to Nelson Overholt shows us what technology you shouldn't live without in the new year. Armed with 5 iBooks and loads of sounds and software, our next guests are producing live music with their laptops, and now they have a new album to boot. The guys behind the machines, Cat 5. Welcome to the Screensavers, fellas.
Hey there.
So there's 5 of you in the band, and you all sort of have discrete functions. Let's sort of go down the line, starting with the farthest guy. Who are you, and what are you responsible for in Cat 5?
I'm DJ Program, and mostly I scratch with my turntable and drop beats occasionally and put echo on things.
Now, I notice it's a Fisher-Price turntable, not necessarily the most high-tech turntable on the market today, but suits your needs?
Oh, no, yeah, this is beyond the industry standard for sure.
And standing next to you, Program, we have Darkat.
Darkat.
Hence the hat.
Yep. And I make beats, sampling stuff, pulling it into the computer, and making it into beats.
So when you say you make beats, is that sort of like a drum machine function, or is that something different?
Some drum machine and a lot of more sampling stuff, like finding cool old grooves on records or little bits off of TV.
All right.
Stuff like that.
All right, and standing next to you, we have Tweak Tech, correct?
Correct.
And what do you do?
Pretty much I take a lot of samples and bits and sounds and create my own sounds using instruments and other devices, and then take them into programs and cut them up and take chunks and then send it back out through like effects processors or different apparatus to create a different sound, create like a color in the rhythm and to the function of the song.
I'm going to ask you later where you get all those samples, because I'm sort of wondering that myself. And Balanced Man next to...
Yeah. And I do a lot of pitch things. I do some drum machine things. I'll find drum loops as well on old vinyl records or maybe new release CDs, kind of restructure it to make it something we want to hear instead. But I try to sort of focus on the pitch aspect of things, getting some melodies going, because kind of need that to keep things rolling.
Right on, right on. And finally, we have Dr. Oliver here on the end.
Yes, I'm the doctor, and I definitely do a lot of sample cutting. Kind of started out doing a lot of the vocal samples that are in the music, but all of us now are, I mean, everybody's kind of throwing in different parts, but primarily doing vocal samples and now making beats and doing some hand drum stuff as well.
Yeah, and I imagine even though you all have sort of your own little function, discrete task, it's really more of a collaborative effort, right? You guys get together and jam, sort of like they did in the old school with acoustic instruments. You guys jam sort of on a network, huh?
Yeah, well, we don't network because sound applications don't like Apple Talk. You can't really run and do, if we were all connected, we would inevitably just crash all the time. So we run everything independently into this Mackie mixer down below. We take that to all the shows. And a lot of times for practice, we'll spend like, I don't know, 2 to 4 hours sitting in a group, playing different things, bringing in different parts and saying, hey, I've got this thing at 108, maybe we can make these 2 beats work together and play off each other. And then, oh, well, I've got some samples too. And so it becomes kind of like a jam session. Like,
all right, I see. Well, now that we're all sort of familiar, as we all know each other's names, you can call me the M-Dog. Why don't we listen to a little bit of what you got? Play us some beats here, something you guys have composed.
It's a lot of hitting of space bars, I believe.
There's big money in the operation. Computer's locked. Getting a signal. I just like to have someone try it on me. Getting a signal. The Screensavers. Getting a signal.
All right. This is really sort of a hallucinatory, phantasmagoric soundscape that you guys produce when you get all together.
definitely.
That's pretty cool. How did you come up with the idea for a laptop band? Is this something that a lot of musicians are doing? I read an article in a British magazine that said that you guys were sort of at the forefront of really revolutionizing the laptop revolution. Is that true? Is there a laptop revolution? Is this a movement in the music industry?
There's definitely, nowadays with the amount of power that's in a portable computer, I think more people are going to be getting into electronic music. But we didn't really start out as all of a laptop band. I think Balance Man here was the first guy who happened to have one, and he's been doing computer stuff for a long time. We've all just recently gotten these, and but like, you know, we bring other devices with us, like mini disc players. We've got drum
The
machines,
Porta sampler, the weird synthesizer.
Electribes,
deal.
Chaos Pad, turntables, CD players, VCRs, tape decks,
Trumpet, bass, guitar, tuba.
anything that can make
Oh, so you
sound.
use actual real instruments
Oh,
as
sure,
well.
yeah. That's sort of, I think, we're trying to incorporate more live instruments for Christmas. The doctor just
Yeah.
got a new drum pad deal that just is amazing.
See, I think it's really cool because it would be easy just to get, you know, a sample of a tuba playing, but to actually have a sousaphone
Sure,
in,
yeah,
your
yeah.
act, I mean, that just enhances it so much. And you said you have a tech background, right? But do
I
all, or he said that you have a tech background.
Well,
did
he
you
said
all,
stuff about
did
me,
you all
sure.
have tech backgrounds? Did you start using computers first, or were you musicians first? Did you used to do the acoustic stuff and move into the tech stuff? How'd that happen?
Well, me personally, I've been playing drums off and on for the last 13 years and been working in computers. My first Mac, I think I got in like 6th grade. So I've been just playing with computers all my life and video games and all that stuff. I know some of the other guys play instruments and whatnot. And
Vulcan Radio.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, you have a vulcanradio.com. That's where you show off your stuff.
Vulcan
Well,
Radio.
yeah, that's.
Okay. Oh, that's an actual, this is actual,
This is an
you can
old
tune
shirt.
in
We
the
won't
radio.
show this part because that doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
But vulcanradio.com is out of our house. We've been running an internet radio station for the last 2 years, and a lot of us got together there. 3 of us are DJs there on a regular basis, and we use that as a practice space, and we also just kind of play live on the internet to just keep that momentum going. And I think that was a big part of how we got together, was just having a place to come together and be free to bring all kinds of stuff, plug it all in, and just hit play and see. We started with a lot of chaos, and then over the last 2 years, we've been weeding it down to where we actually have like songs. And
Well, you guys started to talk about the hardware and the software that you use. We all use iBooks. Why did you switch? Why did you use Macs? Was there any PCs, or you just this is what you were most familiar with? Are they better for music?
Not necessarily. I mean, I grew up with Macintosh. I know
I
the
know,
doctor
yeah.
grew up with Macintosh.
Grew up with Macintosh.
My first
okay.
Mac I sold to Darkat about 7 years ago. So I think just the relationship with them has gone on for a while.
Yeah. And how
And
about the software that you
comfortable.
use?
We use a variety of like I guess the current sound applications like Peak. Reason has been a real popular one because it's like all-in-one samplers, drum machines, effects processors, and all these different devices, loop players that allow you to play things in tempo.
Is it difficult to learn that kind of stuff, or anyone with, you know, a fledgling knowledge of computers, could they install this software on there and start making music? And does it cost a lot of money?
Software costs a lot of money, and that's definitely
That's the
that's
only
why we're
inhibiting
selling
factor.
CDs now to pay it all back. But yeah, the software is pretty pricey. But I think somebody with the general knowledge of computers and hopefully a fairly good understanding of music and composition could definitely sit down and learn these programs, like, you know, a couple of weeks, and you're like, oh, okay, this makes it loop, this adds a track, and it's fairly self-explanatory.
Desires to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
the drive.
hours and
user
hours and
acumen,
hours of
yeah.
sitting in the dark with the laptop going, that doesn't sound right, and just trying to make it work. So
I think a lot of people are maybe more comfortable. They've learned to get email. They've learned to edit photos and things. And
Yeah.
It's a little less imposing to figure out how to make some songs on your computer than it is to learn guitar or something like that. Well, I'm already looking at the screen for something. I could probably use this for other things too. And I've balanced my checkbook at shows before when I'm not supposed to play. I better see what the balance is doing there. You balance
That's
man.
funny. So Tweak Tech, you and Dr. Oliver, you both do the samples, right? That's what you said.
Majority of it.
Where do
yeah.
you guys get the samples? Do you pull them off the internet, or is there this huge reservoir of
yeah.
stuff that's available out there?
Internet's,
Some of it.
Internet, yeah, some of it, but it's here from here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah?
You know, radios, Darkat with radios, live radio mix into it from other stations. It's just stuff anywhere. Records, tapes.
Is that legal? Are you allowed? I don't know much. You know, I always hear like George
Well-
Clinton, P-Funk. They sample everything. A lot of bands are sampling stuff.
thin line.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Radio-
are you allowed to do that?
Versions.
Well, there's the creative use kind of thing where if you're just taking something and recreating it verbatim, if you're looping, say, 4 bars, 20 seconds of something, that's not terribly legal. It's not terribly moral, and it's not terribly
Yeah.
original.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
So we try to cut things up into smaller bits. Maybe we might have used 4 or 5 different sound sources for one song, We try not to make it, well, we try not to make it too obvious, I guess, or a lot of samples come right off the like television, movies, and just popular culture. Everything.
Yeah, that's really what you
everything
mean,
that's
yeah.
available. Anything that's audible, we can record it. I mean, I have a stereo microphone I can plug right into this, and I walk down through the city every other day, getting bus sounds or city noise, and just like trying to make new layers to add to everything. So.
Right. One
They
last
come from
question
everywhere.
before we have to go here. I mean, it's not like you guys are playing guitar. Like, you're in a concert with a guitar, a string breaks, you fix it. But these things crash. We all know that computers crash. Does that happen a lot? And does it totally destroy your performance, or can you get it back up and running again?
It definitely happens.
Scramble. Call it the
Yeah,
scramble.
it's like, I'm out, okay, who's got it? Like somebody else is, because that's why there's so many of us, there's so many things going on. That's also analog devices. These don't crash too often. The disc can get retarded, but yeah, we can keep playing. I know just last show we played, this thing went down right in the middle of this one song where I had parts. Luckily, I had a mini disc with other related samples, so I just played those.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
Program, Darkat, Tweak Tech, Balance Man, and Dr. Oliver, they are Cat 5. Thanks so much for coming on the Screensavers.
All right.
To find out more about Cat 5, head on over to thescreensavers.com, where you'll find an article on how to get started making laptop music, learn about all the band's audio toys, and find links to some of Cat 5's MP3s. And you can always find more on electronic music at techtv.com/audiofiles. All right, can you guys play us out to break?
Yeah.
All right.
It's huge!
Yeah, I'm listening to the big money.
Technology.
Oh, listen to the right.